boy, howdy.
Hello.
We are ready to stream some No Mercy predictions. Brett here.
Dave.
And that deafening silence you hear in the background is the game loading, by the way.
Chris wildly off camera. Hi.
You're busy.
Hi.
Get out of here.
Who do you
Get
like
out
in
of
this
here.
match? Who do you like in
Get
this
out
match? World Championship.
I like the PS2 rendered man over here to the left. Yeah, let us know if the sound's okay as we get into this. The deafening, raucous crowd of Smackdown might be too loud for us. But yeah, coming up is the second Smackdown pay-per-view after a pretty good showing of Smackdown, actually, the last month or so.
Yeah, Backlash.
Backlash was great, and just week to week, the show and Talking Smack itself has been quite good. We're actually going to be at a Raw pretty soon. And months ago, I kind of wish we had bought Smackdown tickets instead.
Well, I do like Raw for the fact that I can get on a train and be home at a reasonable hour, whereas WWE's making a tour of the Bay Area next week. They're going to Sacramento for No Mercy, then Oakland for Raw, and then San Jose for
And they were
Smackdown.
just in LA. NXT is going to be in Portland soon after that, I think. Or they were earlier this year.
I really thought we were going to get LA for Royal Rumble, but it turns out it's
San Antonio, the home of the movie Cloak and Dagger, as I'm sure everyone knows. But yeah, the big headliner match is Styles, Ambrose, Cena.
We're going to try to go in reverse order, get as many matches in as we can.
Yeah, so you're playing as who you think will win.
Yeah.
And I didn't see who you playing.
I'm
Styles?
Yeah, the champ that runs the camp. Face that runs the place.
The chump that runs the dump. But yeah, so you think Styles will retain and set up another feud, perhaps?
I think Cena will beat him for it because that's a good person to win for the record-tying title reign off of, but he's got to look somewhat good, and winning to the match will do that.
Yeah.
And also, winning the 16th championship on not, one of the big 4 pay-per-views doesn't seem like it'll happen.
That seems... Man, not the Rumble. Survivor Series, super long shot. Mania, very likely. But yeah. So what has happened? Did something happen with TNA today that I'm not privy to?
There's rumors that WWE is going to buy the tape library.
Oh. But not the business itself, so it could continue running.
Yeah, because Billy Corgan apparently just wants to rebrand it. Which makes sense because TNA is also the name is almost the worst part of it.
The name is not great.
Yeah,
and I feel like they've just been using Impact more often than not.
Yeah,
right? But, man, I think if they bought that library, kind of sucks because, Sting's big moment already happened. And
but then,
they had plenty of footage of him anyway.
Yeah, for any... I think they've already done a Sting Blu-ray and stuff like that. But it's you can do a second one, some TNA stuff.
Yeah, but man, what's the hot period for TNA? Is there one?
Yeah, I would say probably 05, 06.
Really?
Yeah, they had they had Sting, they had Kurt Angle, they had
they had
Christian, they had Booker T, and then they had their own guys. They had Samoa Joe, they had AJ Styles,
Senior Joe.
Yeah. You had Scott Steiner telling Senior Joe about his chances. But, they had some good points. I think a lot of people pointed at Hulk Hogan, he came in and he's like, all right, first we got to get rid of this ring, this distinctive ring look that everybody knows you for.
Yeah,
and then we'll just do NWO stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, I do remember watching briefly 2013 maybe. And I guess it was a dead period, but the Aces and Eights stuff I remember, and Suicide, the masked wrestler.
Who was, I don't know if at that time if it was, but I think that was, I'm blanking on his name, Cruiserweight Champion, TJ Perkins.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He was, and it's he's a good-looking guy. He doesn't, I don't think he needs that mask. But,
I'm glad you qualified that.
Yeah,
and I'm glad you hesitated, because if you just said he was good-looking just right out of the gate, I'd be like, Dave, turn in your man card. You got to hesitate. Begrudgingly admit this man is good looking.
I think that's part of the reason that he's Cruiserweight Champion. It's
well,
this guy, in a tournament for...
What are you doing? AJ Styles drunk.
In a tournament that has a lot of people that don't speak English as their first language, and undersized guys, but TJ Perkins, he looks like a cruiserweight, but he's still you wouldn't think he doesn't look like a wrestler.
He got my chocolate and my peanut butter kind of thing.
And then he's got the best entrance.
Hugs McGee saying the hot period is right now. for TNA.
Yeah, no, they're doing pretty good right now.
I mean, it's the most I've read about them in the last 5 years, I would think. Man, yeah. But so if they bought the tape library and Billy Corgan, which I can't believe that's how this is shaking out, is going to rebrand it. And it's kind of like a reboot then. Like they would probably get new belts and they'd probably get like some of this talent must want to leave at that point, or I don't know.
Keep doing a submission finisher, which is not going to win this match.
Yeah. I mean, if Ambrose keeps whiffing like that, that's about as good as his punches are in real life, am I right?
Damn it, I was close, though. That's just wacky Ambrose for you.
Yeah, he doesn't.
The other guy's about to step out, he's punching the air. Done
in by his own reverse hubris. But we're getting near the end of the 2K16 era, as far as the games go, too. This is right up on the edge of 2K17 releasing.
Oh, wait. Ooh. No, I almost tapped out. Like Dean Ambrose has a...
And this crowd is active. Cena pausing to...
Ooh.
He thought about giving up, and then he remembered he can never give up. NATO87 asking, are your technical issues resolved? Sucks what happened with you guys the past couple of days. You know, it's hard to know when they're ever truly resolved.
Like in life.
Yeah, it's more of a cosmic question at that point. The particular issues we've recovered from. Drawing
this
blood.
Game doesn't require a Finn action figure to work, so
yeah,
we're good.
Between that and we lost a bonus time, which is our Patreon exclusive show where we gab about whatever.
Speaking of,
it sounds random as hell, but it's actually fairly structured, and it's the only time we can talk largely off topic and not stick to one thing. The Departed stream, we did watch Departed from Monday Night Movie. 2.5 hours of the best Boston accents and random yelling, scored by bagpipes underneath.
Man, this is like... So, yeah, the new game comes out next week. I didn't know that you could break a pin while you are, like, crawling towards, like, the ropes.
Oh, God.
Yeah, there you go.
16-time world champ. That is not your prediction, though.
No.
Your prediction is... This is a recurring thing, I think, on these streams.
I know.
The Departed. I found out my fucking boss... That's Adam Sandler.
It is kind of amazing that it's been over 2 years since John Cena has held a world title. He lost it to Brock at SummerSlam and hasn't gotten back since. I mean, of course, 2015 was all about his like
U.S.
challenge, which was great.
Yeah. With his weekly challenge or whatever that was called, which was great. Like, I can't imagine Roman's going to do anything approaching that.
He does have his own custom "I won the title" animation.
Wow. Of course he does.
My title.
Lol Cena wins, says Night Dehumidifier. Yup. Even in a fake fight, he's still gonna win. That part of it is fucking sweet. Oh man, trying to place that accent. But moving down the No Mercy card, and this is the first No Mercy since what, the 2000 something. Becky Lynch is gonna go head to head with the newly Harley Quinned up Alexa Bliss.
Sorry, they don't have that in this.
I like this look better, to be honest. I'm not super into the Harley Quinn one. I really liked this one, and she didn't really get to have a good run. Like, her work was always fun in NXT, but she didn't get to have a good run as that kind of particular. Does she still do the glove? Does she come out and do the metal skeleton glove? I really liked their Freddy Krueger look that the three of them had for a while. I thought that was a fun look to have, and especially since October again. But oh well. If it's working for her and it's working for you, the viewer, then let them do it. They were doing an angle on NXT where I thought that Blake and Murphy were getting back together, but I don't think they're in the tag team tournament. Not as of yet. The last that I've watched anyway. But yeah, it's sometimes that's funny.
Yeah. Where
they're so bad at getting back together that they can't get back together. But the whole WWE scene is in need of tag teams, so it's like you should really keep them together and have them come back with renewed focus or something. I don't know. Worth Nintendo saying, thanks for doing Shin Megami Tensei for VG Empires Rocktober. Really wanted you to do those games for ages. Yeah, we just started SM-tober, I'm calling it. Week by week look at the music from Shin Megami Tensei. And man, the first episode is all Super Famicom games that never came out over here, other than the iOS port of the first one. So basically no one has heard any of this music, and it is great. SMT2 is like now one of my favorite 16-bit soundtracks, like of all, like including things that I've already been in love with, like Final Fantasy 4 and 6 and Chrono Trigger. Like, it is really cool. It is really distinctive. It doesn't sound like any other Super NES game. It's so varied and interesting. But yeah, VGMPro.com. Check it out. SM-tober, baby. Why does Alexa Bliss look like a melted wax copy of Alexa Bliss? Because she's a creator wrestler, which doesn't get the same amount of detail, unfortunately, as the scanned-in people. So you get that like fake look on top of the Uncanny Valley, so you get this extra weird.
It's a neat thing that they're doing. Well, it's like in 2K17, everyone like it's just the character model when you choose a character.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so now they don't look like this person is way like sticks out like sore thumb in mesh photos.
So this is a title match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss. Becky Bliss and Alexa Lynch.
It has to be one of the more like this one. I know who's winning this one. Like,
yeah, so you're playing as Becky. I can't imagine Alexa.
She's good, but she's not.
She's not quite there yet. But oh man, Becky bringing the heat, the fire, the straight fire. I don't know though. She's like Alexa Bliss has very high. Jesus Christ, that thud has very high potential to be a great heel. So I'm wondering if you had seen, off camera, maybe house shows and stuff, some particularly promising work. I could see them taking the belt off her to give her some heat and an angle and something to do, and then have Becky chase for a while. But it does seem a little early to do that.
But I don't know. I mean, SmackDown right now it has like two women's feuds going on at the same time, whereas like Raw can't even do that. Though Raw did have a main event, that was pretty impressive.
The main event was pretty good with Sasha and Charlotte.
I got that spoiled for me on Twitter.
Yeah, you can't follow any social media with these live shows because even their Instagram accounts. It's like, here I am holding the belt. God damn it! It's 5. It hasn't even aired yet in our time zone, and Twitter is already ruining it. But it's fine. Agamemnon saying, hi Dave and Brett, are you guys at LT considering uploading videos to Twitch as well instead of YouTube when the Twitch uploads is more widely available? What?
Yeah, it's something that they announced at TwitchCon that you can now upload videos instead of just streaming.
Oh, I got you. But I mean,
Twitch video, like, the player's not as good, so...
Yeah. I mean, YouTube's been around for 10 years, and it's still the second biggest search engine only behind Google. So.
And aren't they still, like, you can only keep something on Twitch for a certain amount of days unless you're Twitch Pro or something?
It'll archive, 5 days, or you can do the... But I don't know how that shakes out if you've uploaded it and didn't stream it. Either way, it's taking up space on their servers, so I assume it falls into that. I didn't pay close attention because we were streaming and editing a bunch of stuff this week. So still got to dig into that. But I mean, it's the kind of thing like where if the Twitch stuff takes off as far as like pre-recorded things that let you upload, then I mean, I'm not against it. But at this exact moment in time, YouTube is where you find subscribers, and not to mention just doing well so far with our YouTube stuff. So it remains to be seen. What are your thoughts on NXT at the moment with Nintendo, especially since the draft ratings? Since the draft ratings have been way down, it's seemingly been on a holding pattern.
How can you tell what ratings are though on the?
So
WWE
I saw this where it's like one of the podcasts, I forget because I read this stuff as I'm falling asleep every night. But one of the guys who comment, Meltzer or someone, I can't remember who it was, but saying like, the top 10 for this, that, and whatever ratings on WWE Network, even though you don't get ratings numbers, but it's like if you go to the like popular now, you can get a top 10 and you could just pull out 10
Yeah.
the top things, and it looks vaguely correct in order of like.
But
whether or not
I was on that, I think, like the other day, and it's like NXT is there now. It's like it's a nebulous thing, and that's like, how do you use that to compare?
Yeah. But I would believe that viewership's down because I used to watch it every week, and I have now gone a week or two at a time without watching it.
They're in very much of a rebuilding phase.
It is definitely a holding pattern.
Especially like the women's division.
Yep. Asuka, there's just no one built up to fight her.
Yeah. Like, they have till November to do, like, set up a new match, and that's probably when they'll do Ember Moon versus Asuka. She's the only realistic person to take her on.
Yeah, and Ember Moon's really impressive, and I do, someone in the comments, I think I was reading on Cage Side Seats or Up Rock somewhere, made a good point that I had in the back of my head but hadn't said out loud yet, and couldn't really, like, totally articulate. I'm glad someone wrote it down. But it was like, what, like, her entrance is kind of Mortal Kombat character.
Yeah.
Looks kind of like Katana or something. And then when the lights come on, super smiley, happy, throwing, like, big eyelashes, and, like, it's just really positive vibe. And it's like, this doesn't gel at all with the shrouded mystery figure with the blood moon behind you. It's very, it just, those things don't go together.
But she's got a great finisher.
Her finisher, when it connects, looks great. Oh, the Sparkle Splash. Or whatever it's called now.
Two.
Uh-oh. Oh, God. Ooh, man. 2.5.
I keep picking characters who have submission finishers, and I'm like, I'm good at that.
A big boot from Becky Lynch. Charging it up.
Much like how the San Francisco Giants got beat. Hopefully. Too close to the ropes.
Here we go.
There we go.
Nice. Becky Lynch retains the Women's Championship. And thankfully, when we get 2K17, these people will actually be in the game.
Yeah, no, they both are surprisingly up to date 2K17 with the roster and the stuff that they've announced for the DLC.
Oh. Who's some of the DLC that they've...
Bobby Roode, Austin Aries.
Aries has been around for a while. That seems surprising.
Actually, Bobby Roode I can't remember, but they got pretty granular with it.
Huh.
And like Shinsuke Nakamura, like
right
at launch with the NXT bundle thing.
Yeah.
Like he just debuted at WrestleMania. Like it's
April 1st.
Yeah. But like I don't know, to get him in a game that's out in 6 months, like
that's a pretty tight turnaround. But it's the kind of thing where, like, I'm sure they knew he was joining well before April, so it's like now you're getting into March and maybe even February, and that's maybe enough time. But yeah, you do got to work backwards when you think about game releases. There's not just the release date. There's all the submissions to all your first-party people. There's getting the discs manufactured and printed and into stores, and like you got to start working backwards from like, oh, you want to be out in October? Well, guess what? Back. So April, even though it seems like a long time, actually is kind of close to make like new character stuff. Like that's kind of interesting. Nuke Ninja, Bobby Roode, great. Now every one of my characters can come down with Glorious. Hopefully the song is included, which we can never stream because the YouTube bots are so aggressive with music. But it is a great song. Worth Nintendo, I kind of hope they do a women's wrestling classic a la the Cruiserweights, just as a way to get more women on the rosters. NXT needs a shot in the arm. Yeah, agree. That would be pretty fun because they've never really done anything like that. I remember anyway. But they need an influx of talent for the women's division for sure because it's, Ember Moon I could see challenging Asuka, but it would be, I don't know. I would rather see Asuka like get out. I don't know, some kind of back and forth with her, like not just beat once and then she goes to Raw or whatever. Like,
I don't think that. Like, I think they would probably trade the title because they need as many talented women in NXT right now as possible.
Yeah, that's true.
So in this case, I actually picked the wrong person. Like I picked The Miz, but I think he's gonna finally lose. Like,
really?
Well, they got the whole retirement angle going.
Yes. Oh.
And it's amazing, though, like, that these two guys who, like, Dolph has good to great matches. Miz, not so much, but Miz, like, he does great promos. But the fact that these guys have wrestled each other so many times, like, they had one of the best matches at Backlash.
Yeah, it was good.
And it's one of the matches I'm looking most forward to because they added that retirement stipulation. So it's like either the Intercontinental Championship gets shaken up or they do some kind of retirement angle with Dolph.
Yeah. The thinking is he gets retired.
Yeah.
But then comes back as a different character or...
But, I don't know. He spent 10 years doing Dolph Ziggler. Like,
it's true. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like... It does seem... Well, they could schmoz it somehow where, like, he doesn't lose, but the title doesn't, like a DQ or something. To
a third month.
Yeah, to push it up for one more month, and then you get a Survivor Series of, like, Team Dolph versus Team Miz or something. I hope this year's Survivor Series actually has a proper Survivor Series that has a storyline behind it.
Yeah.
Unlike last year's, which was, oh shit, we didn't have a Survivor Series match.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously have, like, the SmackDown versus Raw.
Oh, yeah. Like the two champions could, like, an AJ team versus a...
Yeah. And they probably won't do a chance.
Owens team, maybe.
They get their own matches, right?
Yeah. Did they ever do a chant, like, at Mania during the brand split, like, the SmackDown champ fights the Raw champ?
I'm sure they have.
Yeah. Because I was like, what belt would they win? Or what would they...
It's usually just, like, bragging.
Just to do it, yeah.
Oh, look at that, a pose off.
The whole match brought to a standstill. So yeah, this is grown into one of the better feuds of the whole year, which no one could have predicted. But that Miz and Ziggler would have. I mean, Miz has just been great since Mania, really.
I mean,
since he stole it from Ryder.
I mean, I like his stuff with Sandow was good too.
Yeah, that's true.
I think there's like a couple periods where it's like Miz doesn't seem to have much going for him right now. I know, yeah, like beginning of the year, he's like, "What are you doing? You're just like you're in a random WrestleMania match."
Yeah, for the ladder match.
And then once he won the Intercontinental title, like, yeah, it all came together. And his wife being there, like,
she's added a great deal. It's just being a great henchwoman. Yeah, the Spirit Squad did return last night, which is before my time watching in the modern era. The skull-crushing finale. Is Ziggler down? Is his career over? It is.
Yes.
Man, decisive victory.
So that means we're going to have to delete Dolph Ziggler from this game. He's been retired.
Man. Kabam. Well, man, that's it. That really doesn't look like Miz. It's a very doughy... like, something slightly off. I can't place it. Aimbot Master saying WWE bragging rights. 2000.
Well, those were yeah, like there was like Survivor Series style matches both years, but I can't remember like if they did if it was like up and down or if it was just that one like champion versus champion match. So I think that's where the Miz fought John Morrison and like one had the Intercontinental and one had the US title and they had just broken up as a tag team.
Interesting. Aimbot also asking match of the year so far. Mine is Mariposa versus Sexy Star. I don't know what my match of the year is. It might, for some reason, the thing that still sticks with me is that TakeOver Dallas, American Alpha versus the Revival.
Yeah.
The same one with Shinsuke and Sami Zayn that night. Man, something about that match, it was just... like moved at just the right speed. Like some great like face reactions. I don't know. I just remember having a blast watching that. I don't know why that sticks out to me. But.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, I'm kind of blanking, but like AJ versus Cena at SummerSlam. That might be it.
So Wyatt versus Orton. You think Wyatt's gonna win?
Yes, and I've chosen him because he. I don't know. He's gotta
win something.
Yeah. It affect Orton negatively.
Sure.
But like at Backlash, he lost to Kane, and Kane never wins. And then on SmackDown again, he lost again to Kane.
Oh my god.
But it was a count out, so it's like that's when you control your destiny and you lose.
But yeah, if they're gonna build him into anything, he does. That is basically his career in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Where he keeps saying he's Eater of Worlds when instead it used to imply that he was a weirdo. But when you come out and start saying that stuff, it's like you need to actually get results before you can say that. But we did see this. I did see this at a recent house show in August in Stockton, California.
Okay, this one got it.
They did this match, and Orton won that one.
It's house shows.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a babyface, good time jamboree. Yeah, I don't think a single heel won all night, actually. I guess Miz retained his IC belt, but you know that going in, like that's not going to change. God. But yeah, hopefully Wyatt can get a win, because he could end up, if you play it right, like you could have a great secondary villain or whatever. Because if Styles is kind of the main villain in a sense, like you could have. Jesus Christ.
It is weird because we turned off the commentary so everything flows a little better, but you still got the character voices.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that most of his taunts have a kind of audio attached to it.
Stacey D Pro, Orton versus Wyatt, best Vines match.
Okay. I didn't know Wyatt had good Vines. Orton had that, out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Anytime somebody falls down, it's Randy Orton. And then, John Cena's the king of Vines, I'd say.
Really?
Well, John Cena.
Oh, yeah. And if Wyatt could truncate his enormous promos to a Vine-length thing that actually conveyed spookiness and cult leader and Bayou mystical man,
he's again lost one of his henchmen because Eric Rowan is out with him.
With an evil shoulder separation. Or whatever he's called.
I think Luke Harper is just about ready to come back, so.
Yeah. What are they saying? Randy's gonna kill you?
Yeah, not that it's Bray, but
maybe it is Bray. Bam. So running back through what we've predicted thus far, we started with the three-way title match with Cena, Styles, Ambrose. The prediction was that Styles will retain because it doesn't seem like the right time to take it off of him at a non-Big Four show. And even though in the gameplay Cena won, but that was not the intended prediction. And after that, we just did Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss with Lynch retaining because, again, doesn't seem like the right time to take the belt off her. But I was saying I think you could have Bliss have a hot run and get some heat, and it would be nice to have a woman villain on the show with as much, passion behind her as people are behind Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Like Carmella and Nikki going is a great feud on paper. Still, I don't know. Carmella needs a little bit more something. But now we're in Orton versus... Oh, and then we did Miz versus Ziggler, which is IC title versus career for Ziggler. You played as
Miz, by mistake,
but you think
I think Ziggler will win because I don't know, retirement angles are so meh.
I love when they try to maintain this mystique, and then it's like he has a broken ankle that the Shadow King stepped up out of the swamp and shattered his toes.
Nick Ninja asks, have you guys ever heard Will Sasso's podcast in this Pizza Chowski's Wrestle Play segment? That's really good. 10-minute podcast. It's a good podcast. But Pizza Chowski's Wrestle Place, and it's just it's a guy in a basement. It hits a bit too close to home at times, but a guy in his basement talking here's the wrestling list, top 5 heels of all time. And like when he says the name of the wrestler, he'll say the person's real name because that's what doing the cool wrestler person.
Right. Yeah. I am glad that I know basically nobody's real name. I'm very happy about that. Despite reading this like every night. Results.
Did you know Randy Orton's real name?
Is it just Randy Orton? Yeah. Oh, because he has like a family legacy with that. Yeah. St. Louis man, I believe. Bray's gonna kill. Really? Nobody ever said that. Sister Abigail. A move I have agreed to perform with the agreed upon regulations. Oh, that leg's next to the ropes, man.
Damn. That had the little crab walk before it. I thought it would be enough to win.
Yes, Rep Nintendo pointing out today they announced Daniel Bryan and Brie are having a baby in the spring. It will be, man, there's two different piles of genes colliding in that baby. Let's see. Is there a direction that Orton would go should he lose this?
Yeah, I mean, he's bulletproof. He's like John Cena. He can lose in like, you can buy him main eventing a pay-per-view in 15 months anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of the point where like I don't even watch Wyatt's promos because it's like, yeah, you're going to go on and on and on. You're going to say a bunch of stuff and it's going to amount to nothing. And you'll lose.
I also thought it was weird, like he came out to do something on SmackDown, but they still had the logo for the Connor's cure, and it's like, that's a good cause, whatever.
Yeah.
But he has the power to turn the lights off, but not the one thing on the ramp.
Yeah. And you can go back and look at a bunch of feuds that Bray has actually won, but like, it's just a weird set of booking where like it doesn't feel like he wins. You can point out with a list like, well, here's all the things he's won, but it's like I still just see a guy who talks every show and then gets a pay-per-view match that he loses. Like, keeps getting booked as a goober and has no chance to get any momentum worth Nintendo. Yeah, it seemed like that whole when they tried to do some kind of riff on the Final Deletion where they did the compound. It's like that's a step in the direction. Like, what if the Wyatts only wrestle in like pre-made vignettes or something, and then when they finally show up in the ring at a pay-per-view months later, it's like, oh my God, they're actually here in the studio live, or like something. That's a thing to try. I know it's not fun for a live audience to buy a ticket, and it's like, well, we're gonna watch them on a screen like everybody else. But gotta do something. Bray Wyatt is the winner. It does seem thematically appropriate for him to win, giving October.
Oh yeah.
Even though he won't be at Hell in a Cell, but it does seem like he should win, and then
all nice and spoopy.
Spoopy, yes.
Nice. And popping a squat. Okay, good.
Ooh boy, can't wait for those new graphics. It is unfortunate again with those injuries when he was kind of a face with Roman for like almost
a different direction for him.
Yeah,
more than he's had lately.
Hey, it's the other guy. That's a different wrestler. All right, what's
tag champs?
Who are
Try
the
not
tag
to look
champs?
at who's here.
Oh, American Alpha.
No.
No?
It's
the Usos.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's right. They're fighting the Usos. Yeah. But the champs are Rhino and Slater. I forgot about that already. Is Ukes the premier wrestling game developer? Asks the Dez. Is that true, Dave?
Say what now?
Is Ukes the premier wrestling game developer?
I mean, I think they still do this game, so. And there's no other wrestling games, so.
By premier, you could say only. It's not like the Aki days, I guess, where. and Rhino, who I assure you is a real human being.
3 guys and bad lighting man.
Yeah. He's further in the back. He's not as lit. And yeah, the Usos had a pretty reasonably good turn.
Again, I chose the wrong. I think the Usos win this one, but I chose Slater and Rhino.
Oh man. Tag Team Championship 97-02.
I just chose a random belt to be on their white waists.
Yeah, the Usos now are all black and white instead of 1991 bike that I used to own.
No more dance before their entrance. I like their finisher, or whatever it is, where they take out the knee and then someone does a splash onto the knee.
Oh, yeah? That's good. Slater, Night Dehumidifier, saying, I'm proud for Heath Slater. He went on to Instagram to showcase his new above-ground pool. As a proud owner of an above-ground pool, well, not me, but my family, we always had an above-ground pool.
Is there any advantages to an above-ground pool?
I mean, not so much advantage, I guess, but it's just like in-ground is like much more expensive. And see, what we did is that we fake out the in-ground effect by building it up on a deck, and you put a deck around the above-ground pool, and now you do the best of both worlds.
Put a little diving board on the deck. You're set.
That way, you need to do any maintenance, you just get under the deck, and you can take care of any leaks or whatever you got. Put a new pool liner in every couple of years. 1997 in the summer, my pool split in half, and a billion gallons of water flew in our backyard, tore everything up. It was disgusting. Then we didn't have a pool for the rest of the summer. 1998, bought a new pool.
We had a deck, but it was not big enough to have a pool under. It also was a bit too late in my life, but it was almost the perfect dimensions of a wrestling ring. It's like, oh, this would be so great to do fake matches on it, because not getting thrown into corn that's made out of wood.
But yeah, I don't know. Dad being a handyman a lot, like, get a bunch of lumber, let's build a deck. And then you get out there and it's like, actually, let's do a pool, and we'll build a deck around the pool. And by the time that was done, I was like, man, not even before I was born. Or as I was aging, like 1 and 2 maybe, like early 80s. By the time I was old enough to be swimming in a pool without water wings, I remember swimming in that pool for the first time with no water wings. It was like, I am the coolest person. Look at this. I could swim before I could ride a bike. It's in the Midwest where backyard wrestling took place.
It was everywhere.
It was, a little bit everywhere, but...
I mean, did you have backyard wrestling when you were in high school?
No, not anywhere where I knew, but like... when I would see it, like, it definitely looked like those houses, like, just where I'm from, but, like, I'm sure it was all up and down the U.S., like,
as I said,
it does seem very southeast, Midwest, East Coasty, let's just say east of the Mississippi, but I'm sure it was happening everywhere. What Nintendo saying, Slater has been one of those great unsung guys the last few years. Does himself 100% everything he's given and always tries his hardest. I'm glad it's paying off at the moment for him.
Yeah, I mean, I even though I chose him and Rhino, I don't think that they're very long for the tag titles.
He's got an election coming up.
That's also true.
Rhino.
I'm going to do a gourd with this.
Hey, man.
Don't need any space to...
So you think the Usos, in fact, are going to take this?
It's also been a while for them. Like, everyone said, like, granted they were getting stale, but it's like, they weren't winning all the time. Like, they hadn't had the tag titles in quite a while. And also, for as long as they've been around, they've never been on the actual WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah.
They're always on the pre-show.
That's so strange. For someone who, every house show I've been to,
they get, like,
people
kids
blow up. Like, people love it. Like,
what are the kids going to do now? Hey, good movie.
Splat. So Tinga, so who's the talking Simpson host behind some of the greatest wrestling games ever? Wow, Bob Appy. States D Pro. Speaking of deletion in TNA, it's weird about the whole Cody and Brandy Rhodes thing. Couldn't he have called himself Runnels?
Yeah, he just called Cody apparently.
Cody.
Yeah.
But was it something like for televised things only he has to be Cody, but if he's just like on a show somewhere he could be
It's
Cody?
usually either rules.
Huh. I still feel like he'll end up back there. Like it seems like he's taken a year to just travel and do all these wrestling matches he's wanted to do.
It is going to be weird because they're doing the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, and it's like...
They'll have no Rhodes there?
They have one. You have Goldust.
Yeah, I guess they've still Goldust.
Who's not doing anything right now.
Yeah.
I kind of thought they put him... Like, his whole year has been make a tag team.
Yeah.
And, like, that's it. They're not in it, but I guess, like, they're kind of going in a different direction this year with, like, mostly cruiserweights.
Most of the cruiserweights.
We'll probably lose in the first round.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah. So,
Come on, should we try one more?
Rhino, what is the... Let's squeak one last one in here. But... So, Slater and Rhino won, but your prediction is the Usos.
Yeah. So there's Nikki Bella, Carmella, Jack Swagger, Baron Corbin. But I want to... So I think Kurt Hawkins is wrestling at the show.
I'd heard that.
Yeah, like, he said he's making his debut, so I assume it's for a wrestling match, so...
I don't know. Of those, I'm more interested in Nikki and Carmella, but...
We have Giant Carmella, too. I was literally going to do, since they don't know who he's facing, randomized, so you never know who's going to be.
I could go for that.
All right.
I could go for that. Man, Jack Swagger and Corbin.
Hey, Jack Swagger has his own match on the pay-per-view, which hasn't happened in forever.
That's impressive. I do like Baron Corbin, though. Well, more importantly, I liked him on Breaking Ground. I don't know. And his intro, I do love his intro. The lights walking out in those little circles.
All right, so, random. Who will he be wrestling? General Admin!
Who is General Admin? I don't even know who that is.
He was the third-ranked guy when Sergeant Slaughter had like a heel stable. So it was him, the Iron Sheik, who was known as... Wow. But General Adnan is also, I think he's the lowest-rated guy in the game, because it's like, why would, like... It's so embarrassing to be lower than General Adnan.
Wow. He looks ready to fight. He's got the spring in his step. And who's Kurt Hawkins? I actually don't know who that is.
He's had all those vignettes. He used to tag team with Zack Ryder ages ago. He's just one of those guys like Jinder Mahal, where it's like, we need just some guy to be there. Like, we need a couple extra people. I don't think he's going to be destined for much. Nope. They haven't given him some kind of a gimmick, which is basically Chuck Norris jokes a decade after those were popular. But
good. Man,
if he gets General Adnan in his first match, it's gonna be a barn burner.
Nuke Ninja saying the Iraqi sympathizer angle from the first Gulf War. I was alive for that.
Hey, this guy did headline a pay-per-view, SummerSlam 1991. Yeah.
Wow, that's about right, man. Summer '91. Yeah. That's in between.
Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior versus Sergeant Slaughter, General Adnan, and I keep forgetting what they call it, the Iron Sheik.
Man, that dude like flying over the rope was like the best physics I've seen. Just, I didn't think an AI could actually look confused.
What's my best friend's dad doing in this match? Just have to throw it out.
But this is probably the most anyone has talked about him all year. Like, his Google alerts are blown up. He probably still has his Lycos alerts set up, but hopefully.
And he's only in the game because I think Sergeant Slaughter was DLC.
Countered. Oh, Adnan coming back in a big way.
Some technical wrestling chops.
Man, I remember it was 4th grade for me. The Persian Gulf War, as it was then. Desert Cloud into Desert Storm. But waking up and seeing the headline just was war, all caps. Like, papers couldn't wait to talk about a war. Like, I've been a journalist for 10 years. There hasn't been an actual war for me to talk about.
This war fought and everything.
Yeah. So there was that. But man, yeah, SummerSlam '91. If it was in August, like it usually is, Yeah, that's summer 990, 91. It's between 4th and 5th grade, I think. Myself. I don't believe for a second that he has the stamina to hang in this long and be thrown around like this. I have to assume the matches he was fighting back then were very, like, get chopped, get body slammed.
Yeah. Get some beers at the Holiday Inn afterwards.
Yeah. I'm going to go...
Why is Kurt Hawkins tired in this match?
I'm going to drink a Schlitz before I pass out.
So Jenkins says, wasn't this the guy, the villain from Desert Strike? Is that game almost 25 years old? I guess it would have been out a year later or so.
Desert Strike's there, 92, I would guess. Followed by Jungle Strike, Urban Strike, Soviet Strike, Nuclear Strike. Played them all.
I missed those games.
I don't know why I played every single one of them, but man, they were...
Desert Strike was great.
They were fun. Like one of the fun random moments. DQ. Adnan wins. Was being in a store in Kyoto, and they had like a small used game section, and finding a copy of Desert Strike in Japan, just like the wires that are being crossed here. And it was used game, which means there was some Japanese kid playing Desert Strike. Like, oh, this is happening somewhere in the world. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't play. I gotta be honest. I didn't play much Urban Strike. I played a lot of obviously Desert and Jungle. Urban, I have it on. I got it way later on Genesis just to be like, I should own this. Didn't finish it. Soviet Strike was like the first PS1 one, and I was super excited for it, and like it was one of those games I was irrationally excited for.
Yeah.
Like, this is gonna be so good. It wasn't that great. It was fine, but and the Nuclear Strike I rented, and it was like, that's fine. And now it's one of those series like I wouldn't even want them to revisit, because I don't think they would, unless it was like an XBLA PSN thing. I'd be into that, but like the idea of like, we spent $30 million making a new Desert Strike. That's okay. I don't need that. I say that, but then man, that 2001 Spy Hunter game was so good. The idea of just remaking some old thing, when you would be like, you could just make like a cool HD Spy Hunter, and I'd probably play that anyway, but Desert Strike remastered would be cool. SACD Pro, Sheik was Colonel Mustafa in that group. Satinga saying, Urban Strike was a different development team, I think. It did scarily predict a Trump-like main antagonist, though. I do remember you have to invade casinos or something, and like you, aren't there like on-foot missions or something? Like you get out and like drop in like Rainbow Six Vegas style. And it does not look as cool as that, but how is this guy still standing up? Like,
the general,
look at
man.
him, thinking he's all that. Oh my right in the
gut.
Right in the brisket. I don't know where the brisket is.
God, he's really
how like is he gonna take that shirt off and it is all muscle, and it's like I've been working out. I don't know what accent that is. Fucking bullshit. Oh, yeah, man. Was Nuclear Strike the last strike? That's so strange. But I always played them on Genesis. I didn't play the Super NES one. It just seemed like a game that ran a little cleaner on Genesis. That blast processing, man, really made a difference.
And the soundtracks were usually better, too.
Yeah,
one of those games where you could tell they made the Genesis one first, and then they tried to do a Genesis soundtrack on Super Nintendo. It's like, nah.
It is one of those things where, those rare occasions where when there's a multi-platform game, the Genesis one, it fit the vibe of the game better. Like the sound, like the instrumentation of the Super NES stuff is like, but I don't remember the music that well to begin with. So thank God he's done.
The General has been decommissioned.
All right, thanks everybody for watching. Those were your predictions for No Mercy. Running down the card again.
So John Cena wins the title.
What do you think is going to happen?
I think it's AJ.
AJ's going to win?
Yeah. Let's see. Ziggler beats Miz. Personally, that's what I think. I think the Usos beat basically the opposite of what happened in every single match on the stream. Usos beat the tag champs. Becky Lynch wins. That's the obvious one.
Yep.
We didn't do them, but I don't know. I'm gonna say Carmella wins.
Really?
Yeah. Baron Corbin also kind of a shoe-in. But you know what? I'm gonna go against the grain, and I'm gonna say General Adnan wins.
Yeah, I think
match.
it's his time, man. He's been on the show for 25 years. It's time.
I'm not sure if he's still alive or if he. They can get him out of his...
I'm glad for him showing up because they got to talk to us about the Desert Strike. Yeah. So thanks for watching in the chat. You can find more at LaserTimePodcast.com, where we'll probably have an article equivalent to this where you can make your own predictions with us. We stream Tuesday, Wednesdays, 3 o'clock Pacific. But thanks for watching. We'll be back soon with more streamy goodness.
Bye-bye.
See you guys.